within the last 3 months has started reading the Harry Potter books.
Does this mean you're finally going to watch a Harry Potter film?
Well, I got very excited because I said, you know, I can get all of them and we can watch them all. And my wife said, let's read the books first.
Okay, so we have a few years to wait yet.
No, they're chugging right through them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but so I don't know what difference it would make, but do you recommend that as a way to do this? Read the books, then watch the film?
I do. I think, you know, when you read a book, it's very sort of personal to you and you get to create it all in your imagination, and then you get to see the film and it's not as good. Yeah. It's good.
And they, I was telling him, they play that Quidditch. Is that the name of the game?
Yes.
And it's people, children, kids, young adults. What are they?
Well, it's, I guess it's what you guys would call high school, so it's up until 18.
High school.
Yeah.
So it is high schoolers.
Yeah.
They run around on brooms.
Well, they fly on the brooms. They don't really run around on
You get yourself a flying broom and take the week off. But I was saying, I said, there are actual clubs of this game where they play the Quidditch. And he said, really? And I said, yeah.
It's true. You know, they actually do at Harvard and Yale and a few of these universities, they actually have Quidditch teams.
Yeah, did you ever play on one of those?
I didn't. I didn't know.
Did they have it where you went to college?
Actually, Small Mercies, they didn't.
Did not have it.
That saved.
Graduating, may I say this? Graduating this spring
I am, yes.
from Brown.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
with a degree in English. College grad, Emma Watson. We'll be right back, everybody. Now, have you know anything about Noah?
Do I know anything about Noah?
Yeah. He's a biblical hero, right?
Yes.
Yes. And
yes.
I just confirmed his story is told in the book of Genesis.
Yes.
So that's as early as it gets, biblically speaking.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, the story in the Bible is only about 2 pages, and yeah, you know, there's the ark and there's the animals that go 2 by 2.
2 pages?
And, yeah.
A thing like that?
Yeah.
A potentially cataclysmic event just gets 2 pages?
Yeah. Wow. Well, it's the Bible. They had to a lot happens, and they had to try and, you know,
that's right.
squeeze it down.
Because there's other stuff going on. But take us through the event with Noah. He's contacted by God. Mm-hmm. And God says, just
when you say contacted, it makes it sound like he picked up the phone.
Yeah. He said, just between us, we got a thing coming. Get everybody on board and build an ark. And was there an actual ark in the movie?
Well, it's funny because when I was growing up, I always saw the ark as this kind of like big ship, and it had a bow, and there were the sails and everything. And Darren Aronofsky's ark is kind of like this quite sinister, huge, coffin-like, very utilitarian ark.
And why that choice?
I think because he wanted it to feel practical. You know, they weren't actually planning on sailing anywhere. They just needed to survive this mega flood. And also, you know, they had to build this thing with their bare hands with, you know, not that many materials. So he wanted it to feel, you know, authentic.
Primitive and as it would be. Yeah. But the one that you used for the film, that actually, where was that?
So we built the ark to scale. To the biblical exact measurements.
So it was the same size? Exactly
the same size, and we built it in Long Island.
Really? Is it indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors. Well, we had an indoor one too, but the outdoor one was the really big one.
Yeah, well, people who are doing well can afford both.
Yeah.
But... could we see if we drove out to Long Island, could we see the ark?
Well, Ray Winstone claims that when you were flying into New York, you could actually see the ark from the air, in the air, from the airplane. I never saw that myself, but that's what he said.
So it is still out there now?
No, it's all been dismantled now. We finished filming about, a year ago now, actually.
And it was during construction of the Ark, or after it had been completed, that Hurricane Sandy came on land?
Yeah, it was right in the middle of our shoot, actually, that Hurricane Sandy hit. And, yeah, it was just incredibly surreal to be pretending that there was this big flood coming, and then there was a big flood that came, and it was a bit confusing.
So what does that tell you?
I mean, you have a point. You have a point.
It tells you that God doesn't think everything is funny.
No. He doesn't.
But you're pregnant in the film, and then at the end, they have to decide, and it's a little creepy at the end, but then everything works out.
Yes, so I give birth to twins. This is a spoiler, by the way. If you don't want to know this, you should. But yeah, I'm a new mother in the movie, and yes, I give birth.
And is that part in the Bible as well?
Well, women aren't really mentioned in Noah's story at all. So Darren kind of had to fill in some gaps, and Ela was in one of those gaps. She's my
So your character is not referenced in the Bible?
No, she's not. So Name is Noah's wife, and Ela is his adopted daughter in Darren's adaptation. And there's no mention really of women in the original story. So
that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, I guess the focus was on Noah. He was the one saving all the animals, and he was kind of busy, and there was a lot of stuff that needed to go into that, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
I've never met the author. I don't know.
Anybody who knew Noah will tell you it was always me. Was it fun making them? Now, when you see this movie, now how was it being pregnant? I mean, for a woman, all of a sudden that experience, was it? You don't know what it's like, do you?
It was a real. It was really interesting. I said to my costume lady, I said, okay, I want to, really do this method. I want you to put in my pregnancy suit. I want you to make it weigh the same amount as it would as if I was carrying twins. And she said, okay, fine, we'll do that. And I came up to the next day and I was like, you can't be serious. I'm exhausted. This is crazy. And then she turned to me and said, yeah, that's just the weight of one child.
One child.
I was like,
right.
okay. And I called my mother after my first day of shooting, and I was just like, this is crazy. And she said, you don't get to complain, you only faked it. So.
But,
It was intense. I have a whole newfound respect for women and motherhood.
But in your case, it's a little different because when a woman is pregnant, the weight comes on gradually. It's not like just all of a sudden you get a luggage full of bricks.
Right. Sure. Okay. Yeah.
But they
you get
say
to build some muscle.
Yeah. The 9-month gestation period takes care of many things: physical, emotional, and psychological.
You have personal experience of this.
Yes, and I know that. Well, I went through it once. And they say that 40 pounds is about as much as you want to, beyond 40 pounds.
You don't want to gain more than that.
You're in the circus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll remember that for the future.
Yeah. We have a clip here of the film.
Okay.
Do you get nervous when you see yourself in the movies?
It's funny, in the early Harry Potter films, I'd get very nervous, and I'd kind of twist myself up like a pretzel on my seat, and I'd bite my nails and everything, and then I'm pretty sure it was Maggie Smith who said this to me. This is 10 years ago now, so sometimes I struggle remembering, but she said, she basically said, how do you expect to get better if you don't watch your performances? And I said, well, that's a good point, and yeah, she kind of just told me to get a grip, and since then I've watched my performances.
You watch yourself, yeah. You know who else won't, when he's on this show and we show a clip, he looks away. And a lot of guys do this, but Johnny Depp does it. He does not like watching himself on the screen.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you get
I wonder if it means you're in the wrong business.
I mean, he's done pretty well for himself.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He does all right, sure. Well, this is exciting. And Russell Crowe, how was he? Was he all right as Noah?
He's incredible as Noah. He is absolutely sensational as Noah, I have to say.
Yeah.
It really is.
Who else could have been Noah? Anybody else come to mind in
You know, that
casting
was the
of Noah?
thing, is like, I honestly couldn't think of anyone else who could do it as well as Russell, because you need the physicality of a man that you think could build with his bare hands an ark.
Right.
And Russell Crowe seems like the guy I would hire for that job.
Yeah. Let's, what is the clip here, Emma? How long is the film? Is it very long?
Gosh, I think it's like 2 hours, two and a bit hours.
It better be 2 hours, because this is a big story.
Yeah,
because he's got to get all of the animals.
He's got to get all of the animals into the ark. He's got to build it first. Yeah, it's definitely definitely over 2 hours.
And who sexes the animals? You know what I mean?
I don't quite understand what you're saying.
I'll tell you what I mean. My son is very fond of turtles, and he will come to me with a turtle, and he will say, "Dad, is this a boy or a girl?" And I know how to sex a turtle. And
wow, this is breaking news there.
Never mind. The idea is he wanted to continue procreation of life on the planet.
So we made sure we had a girl turtle and a boy turtle.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We made sure that we had both of the sexes. Yes, that was important.
All right, now, so let's take a look at this clip here. What is this going to be?
Oh, so this is a scene, this is Russell and I before the world is flooded, basically, and we're kind of having a conversation about what the end of the world might look like.
Noah, Emma Watson, opens on Friday. Is that right? Wow. I mean, honest to God, that's wonderful. Oh, golly. I'm sorry.
You lulled me into a false sense of security. Last time I was here, he played my clip from my movie.
Here now is the real Noah. Take a look. Ooh.